Welcome back to the Encore Offstage podcast, ladies and gentlemen, with me, Adam.
And me, Ben.
Hey, Ben, how are you doing?
I'm all right, thanks, Adam. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. How's your week been? Because I know
Good.
you've had some exams this week.
Yeah, it's been pretty chaotic, but we got through it, and now we are here recording a podcast.
Excellent.
Light at
And
the end of the tunnel.
Are you ready for the podcast this week?
I think I'm as ready as I'm ever going to be.
That means no, but that's fine.
Okay, yeah.
So we have a special guest later on. We have Rachel Murray, who I had a chat with whilst you were doing your exams.
Yes, we unleashed you
on my own.
I can't say that.
Unleashed me on Rachel.
Rachel. Earlier in the week, without me being present, I haven't even listened to the recording yet, so who knows what happened.
Oh, well, there we are then. You see, you're in for a great treat.
We'll all find out together later on in our big discussion at the end of the podcast.
But first of all, we are going to deal with
our weekly news segment, so on to that. And now it's time to move on to our weekly news roundup, in which this week we are bringing you two quickfire news stories. And I am going to start, I think, this week, Adam, with a nice, quick, sort of happy, theatrically-based news story. And you're going to move on to something more arty, aren't you?
Yes, so I am. Yes, I'm going to be a bit more, in-depth and cultural.
Yes. Whereas I'm going to speak about the Rocky Horror Show, which
Yay!
is one of my favourite musicals.
Time up again.
Copyright strikes impending, yay. Thanks, Adam. No, I was lucky enough to see this 2 years ago at the Theatre Royal in Nottingham, and it's great fun. And then in lockdown, me and a group of friends, we did it as a virtual play reading, and we all dressed up and had the most fun with it, and it was just amazing. I played Brad, and it was just the best.
I was going to say as much fun as you can have at home during lockdown in other people's clothes, but then it suddenly sounded a bit wrong.
Possibly, yeah. This podcast taking a theme.
Now,
sorry,
Rocky Horror Show, I've never actually seen. So is it coming on tour?
Okay.
I've seen the film. I've seen the film, but I've not seen the show.
Oh, so you've never dressed up and gone to it live?
No. Although I have done other things with other shows, but never actually done the Rocky Horror Show.
Have you seen the film with any other people?
Yeah, my sister.
Okay, because you need a group of people to know what happens. It's great.
It was my sister who introduced it to me, and probably explains a heck of a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, probably. But yes, Rocky Horror is touring in 2021 across the UK, and it's so exciting that something has, in the midst of all this uncertainty, has come out and said, yeah, we're going to try and run a tour.
Indeed.
It's going to open in March 2021 and running until October. It's playing in basically everywhere across the UK. Tickets are now on sale, and now I know that you haven't seen it, Adam, I'm obviously going to have to go and take you. We're going to have to see this. It's going to have to happen. I'm
going to have to put my cross-dressing game on.
Yeah, you'll have to go, Frank. I've got a full-out Brad outfit. I've got a lab coat and everything now.
Hang on a minute. Whoa. Hang on a minute. How do I have to do cross-dressing, but you have to go as Brad?
You could go as a Janet, and it would be amazing.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah.
I think I've got the Brad's hair. That's why I've got the Brad's hair.
Oh, okay. It's all down to the hair.
It's all down to the hair.
In which case, I'm Meatloaf.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, do you want to hear about my news?
Yes. Let's move on to your slightly more arty news.
Bit more arty. Well, it's illustration based, because when we first started this podcast, we always said we wanted not just to deal with theatre, but we wanted to deal with other parts of the arts as well. And I was having a look through things that were going on, and I found this little article on the BBC News website, and it's about the Great British Bake Off. Now, for those of you that haven't seen the Great British Bake Off, you will,
mad.
If you're a bit mad, or you just lived under a rock for 11 years, you will know that there is certain parts of the show where they show off drawings of the cakes of the contestants. And
what it will aim to look like.
Yeah. Well,
the goal.
It's a chat with the guy who does the illustrations for all these cakes. And there's a team of him, and I think there's 4 other people as well. But the main guy, Tom Hovey, his name is, and he actually doesn't like cake at all. He is anti-cake, I think, because he sits and draws it most of the time.
I don't understand how anybody can be anti-cake.
Right, here's an argument, an eternal argument. Okay. Cake or pie?
Cake.
I'm the same. I prefer cake to pie.
Some
people say pie.
It's literally it's binary opposites. Being anti-cake, it just doesn't make sense. It's two words that should never ever go together. I just don't understand.
But if you have a chance and you want to have a look at it, I would have a check on the BBC News website. And again, illustrations, it's a long forgotten art because, again, people that have got wonderful artistry skills and things that are similar to that, they have these wonderful opportunities, and it's not very often that you get to look at the work of somebody like that. So I would have a quick look and
when you actually see them in also in the show, they are quite often absolutely stunning, aren't they?
Well, and most of the time they're better than the people that actually make them.
Yeah, they are, but quite often they're shown for about 10 seconds at a time, and it's brilliant. And they have to do 10 every episode. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I can't look at some of them because I just think, oh, that was so tasty. I'm hungry now.
Do you watch Bake Off and then have to go and bake or just have cake? Ready?
I usually watch Bake Off and whilst I'm eating something, or I have to then go and eat something.
Yeah.
And so because me and baking don't mix, but not through choice, but just because I'm not very good at it. So something like that is just it's I can look at that and think somebody's good at that. It's wonderful to see and to just see the different creations, what they should look like. But it's also an interesting interview. So if you have a chance, go and have a look and just see some of the behind the scenes things that happen in the show.
Yeah, so go and check that out. That's on the BBC News website. And I've just read it through now. It's a really interesting little interview with a very different and, as you say, forgotten art form.
Yeah.
And I think, Adam, that concludes our weekly news segment.
It does. It does for this week. But as always, if you have any news for us, any supporters out there, if you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pigeon, anything else like that, smoke signals, however you get the podcast, send us any news that you've got, whether it's local news or national news. We don't care. We'll talk about it.
Talk about anything. I think we're proving, aren't we, Adam?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much. So it's time for our quiz segment. And last episode, Ben asked me some questions that thoroughly embarrassed me, because I should have known a heck of a lot more than I actually did about musical lyrics. But this time, Ben, are you ready for your challenge?
We are going to prove that I know nothing either, and we are both fully not qualified enough to do this podcast, is what we're going to find, I think.
You are absolutely right. You are not going to know. It's fine, he says, with strange.
Oh, dear.
Right, so this one is very, very simple, okay?
Okay.
He says... What I have found, you know musicals, musical theatre.
Some, yeah.
You know shows.
I've seen a few. Yeah.
Seen a few.
Yeah.
But I bet you haven't seen them backwards.
No, I haven't.
No, neither have I. So what I have here, and again, people at home can play as well, is can you guess the musical if it was told to you in reverse?
No. Done. Move on.
Okay,
right.
No, you're going to do this. So I have 10 musicals here. The plots of 10 musicals.
10?
But they are backward. Yes, 10.
God. Okay.
It's all right, don't worry. It's fine.
I don't even know if I know 10. No, I do know 10 musicals. It's fine. It's all good.
Do know 10 musicals. It's fine. There's a mix. Some very modern, some quite older ones. Okay? A lot of them are quite famous, but don't worry. Okay?
Cool.
So just listen to... I'll give you the... Here we go. First one.
Here we go.
Okay? An old man, rejuvenated after his stay in a convent, helps calm down a group of angry students, becomes a much-loved mayor, returns a small girl to a couple of unsavory innkeepers, spends a few years in a prison, and gives back a loaf of bread before fixing a window pane.
So this is reversed, right?
Reversed.
But also, it feels to me like it's not just it's told backwards. everything is reversed. So if it's fixed a window pane, it'd be broke a window pane and stealing bread. Now, breaking a window pane and stealing bread is a line from Les Miserables.
It is. Is that your answer?
I mean, old man, young Cosette. I mean, it sounds like it would work.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's see if Les Mis.
Congratulations.
Hey!
That is the right answer.
Right.
Well done.
I know one musical. Well done.
Well done. Okay, this one, I didn't know this one.
Oh, God. Well, that's
Right.
Disasters, isn't it?
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll give you a clue. It's a very new musical. Okay? Right, ready? After a series of romantic flings, a young woman moves from Paris to Verona via a very decorative horse and cart and finds herself back at her original husband's deathbed.
Now, I feel a bit like Verona. Now, I know this because I did GCSE English. Woo! I don't know if everyone did. Now, Verona is Romeo and Juliet. And the only musical that I can think that has Romeo and Juliet is just And Juliet, which I've not seen or heard about anything other than the name. So let's try it.
So you're pinning your hopes on the fact that you've heard Verona.
Yeah. Well, and Deathbed makes sense. It sounds a bit like what might happen after Romeo and Juliet.
Okay.
Who knows? Let's see.
You're correct. It is.
I am.
Juliet.
Brilliant. Yeah. This is going well, he says. There's 10.
Okay.
There's 8 left, though.
A prominent Argentinian political figure quickly loses her star power and ends up feeling content working in a bar in the provincial town of Junin.
Oh, no. I've got absolutely no idea. Can you give me
Argentinian political figure? That's the big clue.
Should I know that? I probably should know this, shouldn't I? Oh no.
It's an Andrew Lloyd Webber musical.
Oh, what? Why don't I know this?
There's people at home screaming the answer right now.
I mean,
I'll say it again. A prominent Argentinian political figure quickly loses her star power and ends up feeling content working in a bar in the provincial town of Junin. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but Junin.
This is awful. I really don't know. Should I just guess at Lloyd
How
Webber?
did you know And Juliet, but you don't know this one?
Should I just
guess?
I'm going to guess a Lloyd Webber production, right? And I've seen a couple. So I'm going to guess one that I haven't seen, which I need to watch, which is Phantom.
Wrong. It's not Phantom.
It's
Evita.
Oh my God. And I haven't seen that, and I need to have seen that.
There you see.
Oh dear. Yeah,
Okay.
I should know that. I thought,
Okay.
oh no.
This one I think you'll know.
Really?
Remember, it's backwards.
What?
Number 4. Forsaken by her adoptive mother, who also happens to be a teacher at her school, our protagonist helps reinstate an ousted headmistress who was very into physical education, helps re-dye her mother's hair, and unsticks her father's hat.
Well, I really hope this is what I think it is. We mentioned it last week. I think that is Matilda the musical.
It is indeed Matilda the musical. Well done. Very good.
Brilliant.
Number 5. You ready? You need a break. You're all right.
I'm all right. I'm all right.
You need a waft with a towel.
Waft.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. Right. Number 5. A young ballerino becomes, that's how it says here, ballerino, becomes increasingly disillusioned with dancing, much to the joy of his overbearing father, and takes up boxing instead.
Is that Billy Elliot?
It is Billy Elliot. Well done.
I think I knew somebody who played Billy Elliot once. I'll have to see if we can get him on.
Yeah, please do.
I'll have a look. Yeah, brilliant.
Excellent. Okay, number 6. In a country slowly emerging from the grip of fascism, a large family crosses some mountains, and after deciding that a life in music isn't for them, the young stepmother goes to live in a convent.
One of my absolute favourite musicals of all time. The classic, The Sound of Music, hopefully.
It is The Sound of Music.
Yes, get in.
Well done. See, you're doing better than you thought
I am.
you were.
I'm doing quite well. Are you
see?
keeping score? I mean, I think I've only got... I've got one wrong, haven't I? Wasn't that Evita?
You got one wrong.
Yeah.
You got Evita wrong.
That's
so
good.
you've got 6 out of 7 so far.
That's good.
You've got 5 out of 6. This is number 7. Sorry.
Okay.
I can't count.
That's always
Anyway.
good. That's why we're actors. We can't count.
Number 7. Okay, this one you may get wrong. Although this one... No, I'll read it first. Number 7. Told from 2 perspectives, a woman plots her relationship from start to finish while her partner charts his life back from the lucrative success as a novelist.
Oh. No, I've got absolutely no idea. I feel like I
this one's
know it.
it's quite well known amongst theatre circles.
Hmm.
But what I will say is that this description, pretty much backwards and forwards, is pretty much the same.
Okay.
Now that's a big clue.
Oh God, can you read it again? I've forgotten that really.
Told from two perspectives.
Yeah.
A woman plots her relationship from start to finish, while her partner charts his life back from lucrative success as a novelist.
I don't know, but I probably should. What is it? Tell me.
It is The Last 5 Years.
Now, I haven't even heard of that, which is
Haven't
awful.
you?
No.
Okay.
That's why.
So it's
What
a
is it?
musical. It's a two-hander.
Right.
2 people in it.
Yeah.
And one starts at one end of the relationship, so either the start or the finish, and the other one starts at the other end. And they both sing and travel through, and they cross at one point, and they go back the other way. So when one starts at the end and finishes at the beginning, the other one starts at the beginning and finishes at the end.
Oh, that sounds really good.
It's really good.
I should know about
it's a brilliant musical.
But they made a film out of it.
Yes, they have.
Which is
has Anna Kendrick in it.
And Jeremy Jordan. Yeah.
And Jeremy Jordan.
Anyone who knows me knows I don't like him, so maybe won't.
Oh well, that's a shame. You're wrong, but never mind.
What?
Anyway.
No. Right, so Newsies, we'll have a fight about Newsies in a minute.
So we're on. So you're on number 8 now. So you've got 5 out of 7 so far.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 8.
Here we go.
A forward-thinking factory owner decides to honor his father's vision for his company, going back to producing vintage clothing items with a very different market appeal.
Oh God, should I know this as well? Should I know this, Adam? Am I gonna factory? I mean,
a forward-thinking. Remember, this is backwards. A forward-thinking factory owner decides to honor his father's vision for his company, going back to producing vintage clothing items with a very different market appeal.
I feel like I should know this, but I don't. So I'm going to guess the only musical that I know that's got any item of clothing in the name. I know it's called The Right Thing.
Go on.
Is it Top Hat?
No, it's Kinky Boots.
Oh my God! I just got the wrong musical.
You got the wrong item of clothing. That's right.
Now I've never seen Kinky Boots either. This is bad. This is proving a list of things I need to see.
No. It's fine. Kinky Boots is brilliant. Kinky Boots ever is good. So I
want to watch it at some point. I will do.
5 out of 8 so far.
Oh dear.
Okay.
We're aiming for 50% here.
We're aiming for 50%.
Yeah.
You've got over. Yeah.
I'll just get the next 2 wrong.
Let's see if we can get above 50%. Number 9. After a dangerous experience in a foreign country almost cost him his family and partner, an inventor rightfully dismantles his aviation machine, loses his love, who happens to be part of a company selling sweets, and tries to find a new business idea.
This was a musical that I saw several years ago, and I was the only musical that I've been disappointed by seeing it live. No, because I saw a touring version of it, and it wasn't as spectacular as I was really hoping.
You better hope you've got the right one, otherwise I'm going to slap you.
I mean, I was hoping it's Chitty.
It is Chitty.
It is. And
I saw this. I've only seen this once.
Right.
I saw it at the Millennium Centre in Wales, and it was Ali Jones in the lead.
Oh dear.
Brilliant.
Okay.
It was brilliant. I loved it. I was looking after a group of children at the time.
Right.
Taking them on a trip.
Sorry, why were you with a group of...
So the reason I was looking after a group of kids is that I used to be the England junior archery team manager.
Of course.
And of course I did. And this one year, we were in Wales, which was hosting this particular tournament. And I was managing the team, and they took us out on the evening for a 3-course meal to the Millennium Centre in Wales, and to see Chitty Chitty Bang Bang live with Aled Jones in the lead. And most of the kids that had been there, that were there, had never seen a theatre show in their lives. And I was in my element. I loved it.
I mean,
I was like, guys, watch this. This is great.
I just felt a bit let down by the production of it. I saw it with Carrie Hope Fletcher a few years ago as Truly, and Lee Mead as in the lead.
Okay.
In that tour, when he alternated with Jason Manford. I saw Lee Mead in it, and Lee Mead was brilliant. Carrie Hope Fletcher was brilliant, but the actual production value felt a bit. It wasn't as oh wow, it's amazing. It's fallen to the bottom of my list. I'm really sad. I wanted to see it for years.
You can't be right all the time.
No, that's sad. Thank you. I can't.
Okay, you're welcome.
Moving on.
Last question. Last one.
So
you've got 6 out of 9.
Yes, this is
so far. Can you make this? So is it going to be 60% or 70%? We'll see. Last question. Once their overbearing and unpredictable nanny leaves, a pair of children go back to being unruly, while their father becomes increasingly oblivious to the love of his family.
Oh, I know this, but I don't know this. Oh, I think I do. Can you say that again? Sorry.
Yes. Once their overbearing and unpredictable nanny leaves,
Oh,
a pair of children, yeah,
sorry.
a pair of children go back to being unruly. There was a big clue.
Yeah.
While their father becomes increasingly oblivious to the love of his family.
Oh God. I was meant to see this in April and I didn't, and I'm really sad. It's Mary Poppins.
It is Mary Poppins. Well done.
Oh, I did.
You've got 7 out of 10.
That's
I saw
good.
this when it came on tour a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I saw it in, I think it was Birmingham.
Mm-hmm.
No, saw it in Leicester first.
Oh yeah.
So in Leicester first, and then a couple of months later, I had to go and get another ticket because I went to go and see it again in Birmingham.
Isn't it like the most magical show?
Oh, mate, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Anybody if you get a chance to see it, go and see it.
I was given for Christmas the first time I would have seen a West End show in the stalls. We forked out and we were going to go right at the bottom, right in the centre, and it was going to be amazing. And I was going to cry lots, and I haven't been able to see it, and I'm really good. But hopefully, they've said hopefully it's going to come back, so I'll be seeing that.
Indeed. So well done. That's the quiz.
Thank you.
You got 70%. 70%.
I think, Adam, what we should do is all the questions that we ask each other, we need to add them up and then work it out as a percentage, and then Christmas we'll see who's the best, who's won.
Oh, flipping heck.
I think.
All right. That means it involves maths.
I can do the math, don't worry.
Okay, good. That's all right then. So you got 70%. How many did I get last week?
I don't know. I have to listen to the podcast again and work it out.
Blimey. So the idea that you just suggested
means
you don't
more
know
work for me.
Okay, that's fine.
I can give myself more work, don't I? Well done.
So, I think well done on the quiz,
Thank
and we'll
you.
move on to the next section. So, this week we are going to be talking with Rachel Murray, who is choreographer and performer. Hello, Rachel. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you. How are
Good.
you?
I'm all right, thank you. It's good to see you again.
You too.
So, I'm sure people want to know a little bit about what you do. What are you a choreographer? Are you a performer? What would you say you do? What would you fall in?
Yeah, both. I would say probably performer first. That's sort of my first line of work, and then when I get asked to choreograph for things, and I've done a couple of bits and bobs, then I would say I'm a choreographer. And then I teach as well, dance and stuff, sort of as the other sideline.
Excellent. So, how did it all start? Tell us where did this drive for performing come from?
Quite a young age. I danced since I was about 4. Sort of ballet when I was little, and then as I got older, sort of did tap and modern and jazz, and then when I reached, I was probably about 13, 14, I decided that I thought performing was what I wanted to do. So my parents chucked me on loads of buses to loads of different courses around London, different drama schools to try and see how I felt and whether I liked it. And then I joined Leo's, Long Eaton Operatic Society, or Leo's Musical Theatre Group, is that what it's called? And I can never remember what they're now called in their longer name. And then I studied drama and stuff for GCSEs, and I did a performing arts BTEC at college, and then I went to university for 3 years and I did a BA in performing arts, and then I went to drama school for a year and just did my masters, and from there sort of got an agent, and then been performing and stuff since, really. So it's sort of always been a part of my life. It's never not been there.
And when you started doing it at GCSE and things like that, did you find that gave you a good grounding for later on? Because I'm thinking, because a lot of people listening to the podcast, there might be young people who are thinking about getting into the career, and they want to know, should I do that? Should I not?
Yeah, I think my advice would be to try as many different types of theatre as possible. I joined Leo's because I knew musical theatre was probably the route I wanted to go. So joining a musical theatre group to do productions seemed for me a logical route. But my advice would be to try extracurricular stuff if you can, or if your school offers extracurriculum productions and things like that. I would say just take as many opportunities as possible and find out what area you like and whether 100% it's for you. that would be probably my main advice. Just try everything.
So you mentioned that before you went to drama school to do your masters, you did a BTEC and then you went to university. So whereabouts did you go? What was your experience like?
So I went to Derby College to do my BTEC. They still have the Performing Arts BTEC program. It's great. They're really good, because I knew that A-levels were for me, but for the route I wanted to take, I thought specialising early and having a more practical course early on would benefit. And then for me, I wanted, as much as I wanted a career, I also knew I wanted a degree. So for me, university was kind of the perfect route. I went to Gloucester, and they still have a really good performing arts course. I think they have a dance and a drama degree as well now, but they're great.
And you did your masters at drama school?
Yeah, I went to Guildford School of Acting.
Wicked. And what was the masters in? What was that like? Was it a bit of a shock? Was it doing a master? I mean, a lot of people think that going to drama school, there's not much in terms of, I mean, from what people I've spoken to, the assumption is that, oh, okay, it's just drama school. But if with a masters, it would be something, I presume there's a lot of writing based stuff and.
Yeah, it's a mixture. It's a much more practical masters than it would be sort of a normal university. But yes, there is more written work because of the level of education that it's at. But I would say the masters is hard. For me, from my experience, the masters at Guildford is like 3 years crammed into one. So term 1, you do everything first years do on a degree. Term 2, you do everything second years do, and term 3, you do everything third years do. So it is crammed, and you're in 8 till 8, and then every day, and then you probably have your written work and everything else on top. So it is hard, but if you want an intense environment, it's a great way to do it.
And when you see you went to Guildford?
Yes.
And what was it about Guildford that drew you there? Did you like the atmosphere? Was it the course that was offered? And what was your experience like? Did you feel like you were at home there?
Yeah. So when I was 18, I looked at applying for drama schools, and I would have said at 18 I was a dancer first. So there was different schools I would have looked at. But when I hit 21, I would have said I was a singer first. So when I looked at drama schools, I looked at places that were more on an acty singy base with a good dance department. And for me, Guildford sort of fitted that mold. They're known for producing good singers, good actors who can dance. And it's interesting because it wasn't my top choice. It wasn't where I thought I wanted to go. And it's one of those places I walked in for the audition and I suddenly went, oh, this feels right. And it took me by surprise. It wasn't at all where I thought I wanted to go. But yeah, it felt like home. It just felt comfy.
Did you make many friends there?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, there was only 23 of us on our course, and we were split in 2 groups. And we had people from, I think this is the thing with a master's, unlike maybe a BA or a normal 3-year degree, everyone goes and just has done maybe performing arts, where for a master's, we had people that had done geography degrees, history degrees, science. We got one who was a dentist. So for a master's, it doesn't matter maybe your background as much, what degree you've done. It's about then and there in the audition, which makes it quite nice because everyone's got a different story, really.
Yeah, and I suppose as a performer, and it helps to have that background of life and different arts. That's good to hear. So when you obviously finished, you did your masters, and you say you got an agent, and I know you've performed on the West End. And the various things. What was the? How long have you been? How long ago was that? It didn't not to suggest.
So I've had 2 agents since I've graduated in the last 6 years. Blimey, that's quick. That's gone quickly. I forget when I say it. So yeah, no, overall a good experience. I think it's a hard one. It is a difficult industry, and sometimes no matter how good you are, if you don't fit the mold, you don't fit the mold, and that's just something you have to take. I think the hardest thing you have to learn is who you are, where you fit, and how a casting director and everything else perceives you. it's very difficult sometimes to break that mold. You fit a certain style and everything else. But overall, I would say it's great. It's just you've got a tough skin. Tough skin. That would be my thing. You would have to have the most.
You did Grey Gardens, didn't you, in the West End?
I did indeed, yeah.
And what was that like?
That was for me. So, I guess a lot of people probably won't know what Grey Gardens is, but it's a musical based on Edie and Edith Bouvier Beale, who are the cousins of the Kennedys. They're eccentric and they're mad, and the job was with Sheila Hancock and a performer called Jenna Russell, who, if anyone doesn't know who she is, Google her, YouTube her. She's incredible. And for me, she was like my idol. So she was who I looked up to growing up. I watched a lot of clips. So to be able to work with her for me was like a dream. It was sort of my weird second goal of things to achieve, and I didn't think I'd achieve it. So yeah, it was amazing.
And what other you've mentioned about performing and acting and so, and you mentioned that you thought that you were a dancer first.
Yeah.
Do you get to do many? Or have you done many sort of dancing roles throughout your career, or?
Yeah, bits and bobs. I say sometimes it depends where you train, depends what you come out. Sort of, how do I explain the industry? So where it depends where you train, they come out with an idea of what you will do. So Guildford are known for producing actor singers. If you went to Lanes, you're more a dancer. Birds, more a dancer. So sometimes because of that, you don't necessarily get put up for dancer roles or things like that. So I have done dancing roles, but I'm not a 5'7", 5'8", whack a kick by my head kind of person. That's not, I'm not that. I can dance well, but yeah, I'm never going to be sort of in Cats or I don't know, a chorus line, or I don't know, big dancey shows like that.
Yeah, big like 42nd Street or something like that.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. So, what was it like living in London and working in London when you were there?
I love London. I would say if I could live there again, I would live there again. It's very busy, but I quite like the tube. I like things like that. I've got a lot of friends that don't like London, don't like the busyness. I think it's a weird place. You dream of living there, I think, when you're an actor. And I think when you're a tourist and you go, it seems so busy. There's so much to do, so much to see. But actually, when you live there, you don't go and do the touristy things. I don't think, I'll go to Madame Tussauds for the day. So actually, sometimes living in London is just like living anywhere else in the world. It's a bit busier, but it's like any city, really. You go to Sainsbury's, get nipped to Tesco, get into Boots, and then go home. Like,
I suppose you've got more of a chance to find the more nooks and cranny parts of London, haven't you? The bits that people don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But for theatre, it's the best place to be.
Yeah.
Like, if you love the arts, like, it is amazing. And there's so many shows and so many odd cabarets and things that happen that you only get to see because they're one night only and things like that. So it is good for that kind of thing.
We've got to talk. We can't do this without talking about lockdown.
Oh, yay.
How have you managed to get through lockdown?
It's been hard, I think. I still was working a little bit through the first lockdown, a bit of teaching, and I will be the same from tomorrow. And I think it's just taking each day as it comes. I'm very good at procrastinating, I've discovered. I'm very good at killing time, doing nothing. So that's helped. I think this time will be a little bit different. You can still have somebody else in your support bubble. So for me, my mum's in mine, which is still good. I can still see her in things. So I think that helps, being able to see just one other person, just so you're not seeing the same face every day. No offense to my boyfriend. But yeah, I think it's just knowing that at some point it will end, it will change. And I guess we've had a bit of freedom for a few months to be out and about a bit more, which has been good. It's given us a bit of a break, hasn't it, from the first one, which was hard. It was hard for a lot of people, and people on their own especially suffered. And I think they've learned from that this time, that having the support bubbles will make a huge difference to people's lives.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, and also we were working on a show together.
Yes.
As it was just about to to
So
kick off.
close, yeah,
So close, like a couple of weeks away from putting on, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, okay,
Yeah.
we've got to stop.
Yeah.
And you were obviously I'll try that again. Choreographing that show, and
Yeah.
you've choreographed a few things. Do you enjoy choreography?
I do. It's something I never really thought about. I choreograph bits and bobs for teaching, sort of for shows and things. And then the first big show I did was Fame for Leo's, and I suddenly realised I do really enjoy it. I think I'm quite methodical. I quite like the organisation. I mean, you've seen some of my notes; they're ridiculous little people everywhere and stuff. But and this person moves here and this person. But yeah, I do really enjoy it, and I really enjoy the outside perspective of every number's different and getting to be creative in so many different ways. I think that's what's nice from a dance point of view.
I must admit, looking at your notes, it's fair to say that you're the only one who understands them.
Yeah, no one else can understand.
No one else can understand them. But no, to watch you work, you're very. I mean, I've seen you work. You a fantastic performer, but also a wonderful choreographer as well. You take people by the hand. You show people not literally, but you aren't like, okay, right, we're moving on, and people don't understand what's going on. You have time with people, and is that through your own personal experience that you think that's worked, or is it just the natural thing that you think is right?
I think it's through my own learning. I think you have to gauge the room. I think you can come in with an idea. I like to come with ideas. I sometimes create ideas. I think, what have I thought? Why have I come up with this? But I think you have to gauge the room and look at the level. And a lot of the time, the room can be really varied. You can have people that have never really danced and people that, have done quite a bit of training and maybe danced as a kid and everything. And you have to work out how you can showcase people at their best. And also there's people that get really insecure about dancing, and you've got to find a way for them to feel confident. Otherwise, I hate it. I hate it when there's those people that are like, oh, I'm always on the back row. I'm the back row person. Like, I don't think anyone has to be a back row person. I think you just have to work out as a choreographer what they can do and how you can use their skill. I mean, working with you, do you remember when we did the Leo's concert and we did Flashbang Wallop?
Yes.
And then, the age range of people we had for that number to begin with, I was like, what am I going to do? But then the best thing came out of it was John Fox playing Romeo. Like,
absolutely, yeah. For those who don't know, John Fox is a mature gentleman, shall we say?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And he just went for it. And that's the thing, is that you obviously work well with people, and they felt comfortable enough with what you gave them to go, yeah, let's do that. That's good. Which was brilliant.
You find a way around. Yeah. So I think for me, it has come from my own experience. But I also think it's just something you learn. I think you learn as you get to know people, and people trust you to say, I can't do this, or I'm not very good at this. And you go, okay, right, well, I'm noted, but we'll see what happens. Give me 5 weeks and we'll change it.
We'll sort it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does the future hold for you, Rachel? What if you could say, I mean, obviously it's difficult in a minute, but if I were to say in 5 years' time, what would you like to be doing?
Oh, I don't really know. Well, it's a hard one. I mean, the industry is not in a great place at the moment, so I'd like to say in 5 years' time, the industry will be in a better place. Theatres will be able to open, audiences will be able to back. So I would like to say I'd be able to do performing again in a professional sense. I would like to say maybe I've choreographed a bit more. I do really enjoy that. And just sort of how it was, really. I think everything was going quite well, so nothing majorly new. But yeah, I'd like to just keep the balance of what I had, really, choreographing and still being able to perform and go to auditions and things. A little more normality.
Nice. This is good. This is never a bad thing. And if you had to pick one role or one job that you've done that you could say, you know what, that's the one that I always remember, or is my favourite, or so far, which one would it be?
That's hard. I would say, from a performing point of view, probably Grey Gardens. that for me will always stay with me. It was such an incredible experience, and a really great opportunity, and I'm very thankful for the people that gave me that opportunity. So yeah, probably Grey Gardens. But then if you said to me from like a point of view of making friends, I did a show called Moby Dick, and I made some good friends on that show. So it depends what you're asking, but if you terms of performing, Grey Gardens.
Where was Moby Dick then? When was this?
Did Moby Dick about 4 years ago, 3 years ago, I think. That was in London, and it was sort of in a November period. It's in a venue called the Union Theatre, which is Southwark Way. A really nice small venue, and it was a musical based on the novel.
The book.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, okay. I didn't realise you'd done that. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, yeah. So you're not getting off that easy. I have some questions for you. Okay.
Okay.
I ask every guest we have on. I ask 5 would you rather questions, but they're not ordinary would you rather questions. So it tells us a little bit more about yourself. So brace yourself. Some of these are a little bit out there. Okay.
Okay.
So some of them are a bit, and others are a bit more. And again, Ben has absolutely no control over these. I just do these. He lets me get on with this. So.
Okay.
First question.
Yeah.
Would you rather have a 1-minute conversation with your past self or your future self?
Future.
Future self. Okay, good. Would you rather be a superhero or a wizard?
Ooh. Wizard.
Wizard. Excellent. This is interesting. Good. Would you rather get £10,000 now or find a penny whenever you reach into your pocket?
£10,000 now.
That's right. That seems to be the common answer that most people give. Two more. Okay. This is a bit more out there. Would you rather paint a wall with your face or your knees?
Yeah. Knees.
Knees. Okay. Yeah. Good. Okay. Last one. Okay. Would you rather be able to speak to animals or speak every language in the world?
Every language in the world.
Okay, this is interesting. See, just shows us a little bit more about the way you think and things about you. So thank you for doing those. It's a little bit more interesting. I just make my little notes now about people and just go, okay, rather speaking all around the world. Brilliant. Well, Rachel, thank you ever so much for popping in and having a chat with us. I really appreciate it. Wish you all the very best. Would you like to come on again at some point in the future?
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Excellent. Well, wish you all the very best. Thank you so much for taking the time. And thank you ever so much.
Thank you.
So now it's time to move on to our brand new shout out section. Complete with fantastic jingles.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And this week we're asking for shout outs now, not only just in local arts organisations, but anybody whose small business needs a little bit of a shout out. Come to us and we'll show you as much as we can. So please send all of your shout outs of your businesses, your announcements. Send us on our Facebook, Instagram or Twitter, or our email, encoreoffstagepod@gmail.com. Or, of course, you can always message us both privately if you know us.
Yes, as somebody has done here with myself. Now, we have Simon, who's a friend of mine, who I have done shows with, so it is theatrical related. I've done shows with Simon before, and he is sent us Yes, so I have been contacted by Simon, who I have done shows with before. So it is theatrically related. Let's get the English out. And Simon is offering a new online coaching business called Remote Control Coaching. So what it is he wants to encourage leaders and prospective leaders, whether it's in education or business or dealing with mental health. And he's going to offer one-to-one coaching online for people so that they can, because at the minute we're obviously in lockdown 2.0. And we need to think about, or some people need to think about, the future and what's going to happen, because some people unfortunately may have been made redundant, or the jobs are no longer, the business isn't out there as people, are working and things. So Simon's come up with this idea, and he asked me to give it a shout out. As I say, it's remote control coaching. So he does things like 30-minute consultations, free of charge before they decide, but he also does like rewriting CVs, drafting CVs, letters of application, how to write those, whether it be for jobs or colleges, running interview practice sessions, teaching business English to adult EAL speakers, and also delivering presentation skills as well. So all these things that, say, for example, you've been in one area of work, but you want to develop into another area of work. It's ideal for somebody to go and do that. I'm not suggesting that everybody should do that, but if you like people want a career change in light of everything that's going on, this would be perfect for somebody to go and access with Simon's services. I think it's and also, as I say, he does with men's mental health and well-being. He's offering coaching support for that as well. And so it's somebody to talk to offload to, discuss things with, because I know Simon's been in the business, in his area of work, for many years, and so it's one of those things where it's like, if you at least give it a try, you get 30 minutes free of a consultation before you actually decide on what you want to do. So I think it's worth giving it a shout out.
Absolutely, I think it's a really important new venture, and I'm sure we both wish Simon the very best at the moment.
Very best. So what we'll do is we'll put the website and things on our social media, and we'll share that out with people so they can have a look at that for themselves. So if you miss it in the podcast, don't worry, we'll share it out on our social media. So go check our social media, follow us on our social media, like, subscribe, click, follow, tweet, unicorn. I'm just saying words now. Just do it with our social media. Cool.
Yes, and please, if you see one of these posts about a new venture or small arts business or whatever, please share it on, and let's spread the word as much as we can. Thank you.
Indeed, yes. If you see it, share it. So, Ben, we come to the end of our podcast for this week. It seems to have got shot by this week. I don't know why. It just seems to have gone and happened to have just gone really quick.
Gone. Yeah.
Thank you to Rachel for coming on and talking to us.
Yes, thank you for that.
And thank you again for Simon for sending in his business for us to share. And as always, thank you to everybody out there for listening to us and supporting the podcast. As always, have a listen, subscribe to the podcast. We're on, and if you like it, give us a like, give us a review, 5-star review, and leave a comment. That'd be fantastic. So then more people can see it, because we're enjoying it and we want more people to share in what we're doing. So without people out there showing what the podcast is about, please, we can't get on with doing it. So before I head back to the cupboard,
the
podcast cupboard. So before I do that, just thank you ever so much. And Ben, I need to ask you a favour. When I go back in the cupboard, can you leave me a little bit more to eat? Because
don't tell the world this. I think I'm starving you now.
Well, yeah, you are. Yeah.
Shush! You can't say this. I'm going to get people come into my house now and try and find this podcast.
This is true. Well, this is very true. And anybody out there,
don't paint me out to be a big panto villain.
Oh, you're not a panto villain, just normal villain. It's fine.
Oh yeah, thanks. The worst variety of villain.
But no, thank you ever so much, everybody, for tuning in this week, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Yes.
And until then,
are you going away? One sec, Adam. Are you going away? Are you going back in the podcast?
I thought.
Go on. Go. Okay. No. Go. Bye.
Wait a minute. Okay.
Bye, Adam.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Oh, well, yeah, good. He's gone. I'll make sure to lock him in later, because you don't always go to. Okay. Shush.
I'm still going to cut the handles for me.
Oh, my God.
The handles come off.
I have to live with this. It's awful, right? Shush now.
I can't handle the handle.
Okay. I think we need to end it now before it gets any worse. Yeah. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Well, we might be back next week, depending on if he's still there.
Everybody.
Right. Goodbye. Thank you for listening again, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the Encore Offstage podcast. If you fancy, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Encore Offstage Pod.
We also have a YouTube channel where we upload a video version of this podcast, and that's also at the Encore Offstage podcast. Remember, if you enjoyed the show, don't forget to leave us a rating or review on your podcast app of choice.
Thank you so much for listening, and we'll both be back next week. The Encore Offstage podcast is produced by Ben Bradley and Adam Guest. It is edited by Jack SPOORS and Ben Bradley.